What's up, guys? I'm back. I expected to do this haul a little while ago, but basically, I bought a little bit more of a collection. I bought two short boxes. One short box was 100% Fantastic Four, Volume One, plus this issue you see here, and the other one was almost a full short box of Daredevil Volume One. What it ended up being was 265 books for $400. And that comes out, I think when I did the math, it was like $1.50 a piece, which is awesome. Happy to get all these. A lot of them are going into my personal collection, and then I have a nice fat stack to add to my, for sale, trade, inventory. Without further ado, we're gonna get into this. It's 145 Fantastic Four books. So yeah, let's get into it. First book here is the only one that's not tied either an annual or a sequential numbered volume one issue that I'm keeping. So we're gonna go through the books that I'm keeping first, and then we're gonna go through all the doubles of things that didn't upgrade my collection. There are, I think, 5 or 6 of these books that you're going to see in Mylar that I had a copy in my collection, but I was able to upgrade via this collection purchase. So, this is the last Fantastic Four story by Stan Lee with John Romita Jr. art. This is basically if the Fantastic Four were to end and Stan Lee was going to write the conclusion story, this is it. I think it happens in an alternate Earth technically, but it's Stan Lee's conclusion to his Fantastic Four epic. First up here for the annuals, this is actually a key. This is the first cameo appearance of the Anachronauts. They're they're mercenaries that are loyal to Kang. Well, with Kang here on the cover, which is pretty cool. Next up, we have Annual 23, which is a newsstand. It's the first Ahab, who is a cyborg mutant tracker. So I'm guessing he tracks down mutants. He's a cyborg who tracks mutants, is my guess. It's part of the Days of Future Present storyline. Next up, just a newsstand, mid-grade, Annual 18. I'm going to try to go a little bit quicker here. We got 382. This is all part of the DeFalco run. 380. Ooh, geez, I'm knocking stuff over. 379. 378. And Paul Ryan did a lot of the artwork for this run. 377. 376. 373. We have this newsstand copy of 371. It's a little dirty. It looks a little worse in person than it does on camera, but I might take it out eventually and clean it. But for now, it's perfect for film the run in. I now have, I think, 270 something issues of the 412 Fantastic Four runs, and I plan on doing a collection video at some point. 370. This was one of the upgrades. 367. This one's cool. This is the first appearance of Dreadface, who was a symbiote that hatched from an egg and infected this gorilla. Uh, 358. This is the first Pybeck the Power Scroll. It's basically like a was he cybernetically enhanced or basically a super scroll? Got like extra powers for a scroll. 358 that was. 357, I believe this might have been one of my upgrades as well. Let's see, is this one important? Oh, this is when the scroll Elijah, who's been posing as Alicia Masters and marries Johnny Storm, actually reveals that she's the Skrull, not the original Alicia Masters. 356, still part of the DeFalco run. That Elijah, actually, you'll see in the books that I'm not keeping, you'll see the first appearance of her as Alicia Masters. 352. It lasts for a while, the ruse, which is kind of hilarious. This is the first appearance of the Minutemen and the second appearance of the Time Variance Authority. Pretty cool. The Minutemen are like the police that you see in Loki. The time police that jump through the portals through time. And yeah, this was an upgrade. This was nice. This is like one of the nicest books in the lot, like a 9.4, 9.6. Range 351. This is 350. At one point, the Thing loses, well, he mutates and then eventually loses his powers for a little while. This is when he regains his Thing form. He basically goes back to being Ben Grimm for a little while. And then they have the She-Thing step in. I forgot her name, Sharon Ventura or something like that. This is the first cover appearance of the new Fantastic Four. I believe this is Walt Simonson. Did he do 50 as well? Yeah, 50 is Simonson. I don't remember when Walt's 51 is Kaminsky, so it must have ended at 50. So we're going to be going through some Walt Simonson stuff here. 345, 7.0, that was an upgrade as well. 344. Got some commies. Yes, 343. Then we jump down here to 331. I think I had a bunch of the issues in between. 328, a really awesome Rob Friends, Joe Sinnott, Dragon Man on the cover here with the Frightful Four. Love Dragon Man. He's one of my favorite Fantastic Four characters. 327. This is these have been part of the Englehart run. 326. This is the issue that Thing becomes human again. See, that's the mutated, like, weird rock form. He ends up shedding it and ends up being a human for, what, 25 issues there? So, like, 2 years. Just crazy. Englehart, awesome Fantastic Four cover here. I haven't really been showing Newsies or not, but this is a Newsie. There's a bunch of Newsies up in through this run. And there's some really fun surprises as we get a little deeper in this stack here. 323, just a cool Kang cover. 320, this is a pretty famous Rob Friends cover. Kind of has the trifecta of things you want in a Fantastic Four cover. Thing versus Doom, or Thing versus Hulk with Doom. I guess that's not trifecta. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 3 characters. I guess you got She-Thing, as well as Johnny Storm back there. I don't see Sue or Reed on the cover. But yeah, mid-grade copy. Not crazy, but it is a Newsie, so that's pretty cool. 318, Newsie, another Doctor Doom cover. We got 316, also Newsie. 315, newsstand. 312, Newsie. 308, newsstand. 304, newsstand. This is cool. This is John Buscema. John and Sal did the covers together. This one, John Buscema did the interiors on 308. This is part of the Stern run. So Roger Stern took over after John Byrne. This is 302. This is also Sal and John, I think, both interior and cover, which is cool. I love getting the classic guys in there. I have a little more information about the ones I'm keeping. I do have the keys kind of noted through the ones that I'm not. 299. This is, yeah, Stern, John, and Sal Buscema. Just gorgeous cover there. John did the cover on this one. This one's John with Sal did the cover on this one, 5.5. Newsie though. If it's gonna be beat, I hope it's a Newsie. This is a very famous Barry Windsor Smith cover, 25th anniversary Thing in his, trench coat, hat, glasses. Still Roger Stern era, 295. We have 294. This is the last of the John Byrne issue. John Byrne co-wrote it with Roger Stern, so it's kind of like the nice transition there. He did the, I believe he did the, no, Jerry Ordway did the art and the cover in that though. This is 289, which is back when Byrne was doing pretty much everything himself. 286, this is, wait, is 289 a key? Yeah, Death of Basilisk. In 286, this is The Return of the Phoenix. This is cool because Byrne and Claremont co-wrote it together. And Byrne did the interiors along with Juice, or Geis, I don't know how you pronounce it, who was doing, must have been doing artwork on X-Men at the time. 285, John Byrne. This is where we start to get some cool stuff. This is 282. This is actually a Mark Jewelers insert, so it's got the, I don't know if you can see it, but focus. You can kind of see the blue streak run through, starting in the corner there. But yeah, Mark Jewelers insert. This one is awesome. This is actually pretty nice. This is a VF Plus condition. This is also a Jewelers insert, which you can't really see. So that's why it's kind of hard to use that method, but you can tell by the weight of the book that it's got a little added weight to it. But yeah, this one, they don't even have it listed as having a Mark Jewelers in CLZ. So I thought that was pretty cool. I had to tag it by myself, like create my own tag for it. This is always a nice cover. I'm glad I have one in my collection now. This is 275. I believe it's Byrne. Yeah, Byrne did the pencils in the cover with Sal. Or not Sal, jeez. Stan Lee. SL, Sal. Freaking idiot. That's funny. Anyway, 273 here. This is the first Nathaniel Richards, the first full Nathaniel Richards. 261. This is a Newsy. I already had it in my collection. Not a Newsy. This is a Mark Jewelers. This is a Jewelers as well. So that's that. Three Jewelers so far, which is awesome. Here's a 260. Just a gorgeous cover with Doom's smoking helmet there. This is a really nice one as well. It's mid-grade, but it's a Mark Jewelers, and it's the first appearance of Avatar, who is one of the adult future forms of Franklin Richards. I bought one of these relatively recently, about 6 months ago, I think, and I'm happy to add another one because it's kind of a tough book to find. 244, the first appearance of Frankie Ray. Happy to get this. It's a Newsy, which doesn't really matter in 1982, but I'm still happy to have it. This is just a really famous Galactus cover by John Byrne, 243. Almost done with my stack of the stuff that I'm keeping here. We have 241, just a nice cover. 224, this has Bill Sienkiewicz. Actually, this has got to be Byrne, right? Yeah, Byrne. I don't remember what issue the Byrne run technically started with, but we're at 224 here, and this Doug Mouch doing the art, but it has Sienkiewicz pencils with Joe Sinnott doing the inks, which I think is a cool team. Same with this one, 219. This one's pretty rough. John Byrne did the pencils in this one, but it's a Walt Simonson cover. Pretty low grade, but it'll fill a hole for now. 212. Now we're going to take a huge jump. Huge jump. This is actually probably the coolest book in my eyes in the collection, and it's actually pretty nice. It's about a 6.5. This is Fantastic Four 102. This is the last of the continuous Lee and Kirby books. So they did it for 102 straight issues, and this is the last one. It's not the last time Stan wrote, and it's not the last time Kirby did artwork. I believe that was 108, which may be the last of the two working together. I don't remember who wrote 108, but I think I have that book as well. But yeah, this is the last time that in that continuous run that they do that together. And funny enough, I believe it's a Romita cover. Yeah, it is, John Romita cover. So pretty cool to have that. And speaking of Lee and Kirby, the only one from that era, a nice filler copy of number 82. It's like a 3.0, but still happy to have it. It's complete and attached, just a little rough. As you can tell, it's kind of dirty. But yeah, Lee and Kirby on that. Happy to have it. All right, so now we're going to go into the books that I'm not keeping. Some random book that was in there. We have Marvel's Greatest Comics, number 90. This reprints Fantastic Four 110, which I already have an actual copy of. The rest of these, like I said, are doubles. We got 384, 383, 381. Fantastic Four, no more. It's really nice Prism, 375. The Direct, I have a newsstand copy of that, 374. The new Fantastic Four, where you got Hulk, Wolvie, Spidey, and Ghost Rider versus the old Fantastic Four, the original Fantastic Four. And Sue in her, holy cow, boob window suit. 272 Newsy. It's a nice Malice cover here, 269, or 369. 368. Got a crossover of the X-Men. 354. 349. This is the first appearance of the new Fantastic Four in 347. You can see them here on the bottom. You got Skrulls and Mole Man. Got 341. 339. 337 Newsy. I don't think any of these are Mark Jewelers. I probably would have kept them. 313. They're just cool to have, I think. Kind of rare. 311 newsstand. Nice Black Panther cover. I think it's first time back in the Fantastic Four comic. I don't know why it's reintroducing. 309. Bunch of newsies here. 300 newsstand. 293. John Byrne era stuff now. 292 with Hitler on the cover. Crazy. 291 Action Comics 1 homage cover, which is sweet. 290. 288. 287. 284 newsstand. This is the first time Sue Storm becomes Malice in 280. I have 2 other copies of this book. 279, cool kind of Doom cover here. Just kind of has his eyes in the background, but still Doom there nonetheless. This is 278. This is a Doom cover. It's also a controversial issue. Johnny encounters some racists in this issue. So it has a controversial racism story. This one's cool. This is 277 newsstand. This is the issue where Franklin Richards battles Mephisto. 276 Evening of the Witch. I'm guessing Agatha Harkness story arc. 274. I have yet to read the John Byrne run, probably because I haven't had it all put together yet, which now I think I do, so at some point I'm going to have to sit down and read it. Here's 272. This is the first cameo of Nathaniel Richards. I actually have a Mark Jewelers mid-grade copy of this in the collection, and I think a newsie, so this one I will put up for a trade or sale. 271, the first Gormu, who I believe is that monster right on the cover. 270. 269, the first appearance of Terminus. 268, the Mask of Doom. 267. This is when Sue has the perceived miscarriage of Valeria Richards in the Negative Zone. So that's fun. Real world problems for the superheroes. 266 newsstand. And 265, which is when Thing quits, She-Hulk joins, and this is also the issue when Lyja disguises herself as Alicia Masters, and then it's not revealed until, almost 100 issues later, which is absolutely crazy. between several writers as well, which is crazy. 264, which is kind of like a Fantastic Four 1 homage cover. It's like the second or third time in the series that they've homaged that cover. 263. We have 262. 259. 258, which is just a famous Doom cover. 257, which is the first mention of Valeria Richards, which is when Sue tells Johnny she's pregnant. And it's also a sick Galactus cover. So hard to turn that down. 256 with a Nihilus here. 255, Newsy. 254. 253. 252, it doesn't have the tattoos, but it is a Newsy. 251. I guess this doesn't matter, Newsy versus Direct, it's 82. If anything, Direct like this is more rare, so 250. It's about 84, 85, where newsstands start to become the more rare copies. 249. 248. 247, nice Doom cover. 246, another Doom cover. 242. Terrax comes back. Was that no? This is the first appearance of Luna Maximoff, who is the daughter of Quicksilver. This one's pretty cool. This is issue 239. This is where Aunt Petunia is revealed. So in the issue right before this, 238 with the nice cover here. It's the origin of Frankie Ray, who later becomes Nova. And I think a Herald of Galactus. Her first, a character who's unnamed in this, eventually is named in this, is Aunt Petunia, who Ben Grimm has referenced forever throughout Fantastic Four without her actually being a character. So it's kind of cool to have Aunt Petunia become an actual character, an actual face in the Fantastic Four. So those are her first appearances, which is cool. And also the first, the origin of Frankie Ray. Which is weird. Wait, isn't it 244, the first Frankie Ray? Maybe that's MS Nova? I don't know. That's weird. I gotta read these books. 237, 236, 235. Just some awesome John Byrne stuff here. 234, 233. 232, which is the first appearance of the Elementals of Doom, Air, Water, Earth, and Fire. All right, home stretch here, guys. Thanks for hanging out. 221. We have a nice mid-grade or so copy of 209, the first appearance of Herbie. We have issue 206. Which is the first appearance of Skrull Empress Krill? Or Rakill? I don't know. Fantastic Four 196. I have all of these already. 195. 184, which is the first appearance of the Eliminator. 183. 182, 172, 171, the first appearance of Gore. That's a nice cover. It looks kind of Kirby-esque, but I don't think it is Kirby. Could be Gil Kane or like Ross Andrew or something like that. guys that kind of have a similar style. I don't know. Or Buscema, could be Sal Buscema. Anyway, we have, last but not least, an awesome book. I already have a similar or better copy of Fantastic Four 104. Just an awesome Magneto cover here. Really happy to have that, to be honest. And then there was a Annual 17. So that was the Fantastic Four collection, guys. I processed it, and now I have to go do all the Daredevil books. But yeah, I'm happy to show it off, guys. Let me know what you thought. Like I said, it's about $1.50 per book. Happy to add all the books to my collection, as well as have some nice stock to add to whatever I plan to do with it. Whether I just sell a giant lot on eBay, or if I try to piece it out in a whatnot sale and then sell the leftovers on eBay. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But yeah, so happy to have all this stuff for a nice price, and I bought it off a friend, so I'm happy to help him offload some stuff and put some cash in his pocket to put towards his collecting goals. So I would like to thank you one last time for like the 5th time now, and I'll let you guys go. Enjoy the rest of your day, weekend, night, you know, whatever it is, whenever you're watching this. I appreciate it so much. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll come back to you pretty soon.